Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder, the place where we tear apart corporate disclosures to see what is really going on under the hood. Today we're diving into Biofrontera Inc's latest 8K filing, and let me tell you, it looks like they're giving us a sneak peek at some early numbers that might just raise a few eyebrows. Before we jump in, if you love getting these clear, no-nonsense breakdowns of financial documents, make sure you hit that subscribe button. And if you want to chat about these reports with other like-minded folks, join our Discord community. The link is in the description below. So, what are we looking at here? This report is a Form 8K, which is like a current event filing for companies. Think of it as an immediate announcement about something important that has happened. In this case, Biofrontera Inc. is releasing some preliminary revenue figures for the fourth quarter and the full year that ended on the 31st of December 2025. Now, this isn't their final audited report yet. It is more like a heads up, an early look, and they've been very clear that these numbers are still being reviewed and could change. So we should treat these as estimates for now, but they still give us a valuable snapshot of where the company stands. For context, Biofrontera Inc. is a biopharmaceutical company. They're known for developing and commercializing innovative medical products for dermatology and other medical applications. They have common stock traded on the Nasdaq stock market LLC under the ticker symbol BFRI. Digging into the details, we can see the securities they have registered and where they're traded. Their common stock, with a par value of $0.001 per S-share, trades under BFRI on the Nasdaq stock market LLC. They also have preferred stock purchase rights and warrants to purchase common stock, all listed on the same exchange. It is pretty standard stuff for a publicly traded company. One thing to note is that Biofrontera Inc. has checked the box indicating they are an emerging growth company. This means they can take advantage of certain accommodations and exemptions from reporting requirements to ease their transition into being a public company. They've also indicated they are not opting out of the extended transition period for new financial accounting standards, which is a common practice for companies in this category. Alright, let's get to the meat of it, the financial results. This section, item 2.02, is where they announce significant financial events. Biofrontera Inc. issued a press release on the 13th of January 2026 to share these preliminary revenue numbers for the fourth quarter and the full year 2025. This press release is attached as Exhibit 99.1. and is incorporated into this report. It is important to remember the disclaimer they've included. The information provided is preliminary and subject to completion of their review process. They're cautioning us not to place too much reliance on these forward-looking statements because they reflect management's views only as of the date of the report and could change. They are not obligated to update these statements publicly unless required by law. This is a standard legal protection. Now, what are these preliminary numbers that have everyone buzzing? The filing itself doesn't contain the actual financial tables with the revenue figures in this particular document. Instead, it points us to an attached press release, Exhibit 99.1, for that critical information. This means the story is really in that press release. While this specific HTML document doesn't embed the financial tables directly, the 8K filing itself directs us to Exhibit 99.1 for the press release announcing preliminary unaudited revenues, to give you a sense of what we might expect to see in such a release for a company like Biofrontera. We typically look for key revenue figures for the fourth quarter and the full year. We would compare these to expectations, analyst estimates, and of course the revenue from the previous year to understand the growth trajectory. For example, if the press release showed fourth quarter revenues of, let's say, $25 million, we'd immediately want to know how that compares to the same quarter last year, which might have been $20 million. That would represent a 25% increase, which is a solid jump. Or if the full year revenues came in at $80 million, we'd compare that to $70 million from the prior year, roughly a 14% growth. We'd also check if this met or beat what analysts were predicting. The devil, as they say, is in the details of that press release. We'll be looking for the actual dollar amounts and the percentage changes. Is revenue growing strongly? Is it slowing down? Are they gaining market share, or are competitors taking a bite out of their business? These preliminary numbers are the first clue to answering those big questions about Biofrontera's performance in 2025. And who is signing off on this? Fred Lafleur III, the Chief Financial Officer. This is the person ultimately responsible for the financial reporting of the company. His signature here attests that he has reviewed and approved the information presented in this report. Now, looking at this filing from a higher level, Biofrontera is in a competitive space. The pharmaceutical industry, especially in dermatology, requires constant innovation and significant investment in research and development. Companies like Biofrontera need to demonstrate consistent revenue growth and a clear path to profitability to maintain investor confidence. One of the key risks for companies in this sector, and something to watch for in their full financial reports, is the success of their product pipeline and regulatory approvals. If they have a promising new drug or treatment, its progress towards the market can significantly impact future revenue. Conversely, setbacks in clinical trials or regulatory hurdles can be major blows. The fact that they are releasing preliminary revenue figures suggests a few things. It could mean they're confident about the numbers and want to get good news out to the market quickly, or it could be a strategic move to manage expectations. Especially if the numbers are not as strong as hoped. Given the preliminary nature of these figures, it is vital to wait for the final audited results to get the complete picture. However, based on what we know, Biofrontera continues to operate in a dynamic market. Their ability to innovate, navigate regulatory landscapes, and effectively market their products will be crucial to their long-term success. We'll be keeping a close eye on their future filings and press releases to see how these preliminary numbers hold up and what else they reveal about their financial health and strategic direction. So, what is my take on this? Biofrontera Inc. is giving us an early look at their 2025 performance, signaling their revenue trajectory. While the specifics are in that attached press release we don't have here, this 8K filing confirms they are sharing some key top-line numbers. The main takeaway is that these are preliminary, so they are subject to change. This is a standard practice, but it means we should hold our final judgment until the audited figures are released. The company is positioned in the biopharmaceutical sector, which is inherently risky, but also offers high reward potential. Their success will depend on their product pipeline, regulatory approvals, and market adoption. The fact that they are an emerging growth company gives them some flexibility, but ultimately, consistent financial performance and growth are what truly matter to shareholders. We need to see those revenue numbers and understand the trends they represent. Alright, that is our quick dive into Biofrontera Inc.'s latest 8K filing. What are your thoughts on their early revenue announcements? Do you think this is a positive sign? Or should we wait for the full picture? Drop your opinions in the comments below. If you found this breakdown helpful, please give this video a thumbs up, and most importantly, subscribe for more in-depth corporate analysis. And don't forget to join our Discord community, linked in the description for more discussions and insights. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next ones.